So after a very long stream the other day of figuring out how to actually play Nidoking and being able to build a list on stream with everybody, this is the list that we came up with, and it actually worked out really well. So I wanted to do a video kind of covering it now that the, kind of build is completed. And so what we decided on was that we're playing a 3-2-3 line of Nidoking EX alongside a 3-2-2 line of Duskull, and the main play here is that we're going to use Dusknoir and Dusclops to kind of shore up the damage from the Tainted Horn, so that way we're getting the KOs from the poison in between turns, and that way we're shutting off Fezandipiti but still able to take larger KOs when we need to. We also run Munkidori. This is to help shore up a little bit of damage in some matchups. We're playing the Mimikyu because of the fact that it A, is a free retreater, and B, is kind of nice to be able to throw together pretty quickly in certain matchups where Terra Pokemon are important. So like in the Eevee matchup it matters, and in the Gardevoir matchup it matters, or not Gardevoir, rather, the Dragapult matchup, it can kind of come up and be pretty big there. So that's always something to keep in mind. As for our A-Spec of choice, we're going to go with the Secret Box to help us find our pieces. We also are running one copy of Ursaluna. Stream wanted me to cut it, but I still think it's really good. But I figured I'd just state that. We have 4 Team Rocket's Energy alongside 4 Dark Energy, 2 Psychic Energy. This is mostly for Crispin, so that way we can potentially power up our Munkidori and our Nidoking in the same turn, or be able to get our Munkidori or our Mimikyu set up as well, just kind of being able to throw the energy around. So that's always pretty nice. One of the cards that we play 2 of is Counter Gain. This is going to be very important because we're going to be able to manipulate that with the Dusknoir, and then we're also playing a Counter Catcher for the same thing, as well as a copy of Boss, so that way we can pick our targets. And yeah, that's I guess the last thing to go over is the supporter line. We're playing 3 Arven, 3 Iono, and 1 Research, as well as, like I said, the 1 Crispin, 1 Boss, and 1 Defiance Band. We're playing 4 Rare Candy because we're looking to be able to Dusknoir and Nidoking as quickly as possible and get set up. But yeah, that's pretty much the list that we were able to come up with. I think it's really strong, so we'll get into the games in a second, but I do want to give a special shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys so much for that additional level of support. Really does go a long way. It means a lot, so thank you guys so much for that. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, you'll get access to all the stream VODs, so if you missed the stream and want to check it out, that's a special privilege to the channel members. Is just an extra way to say thank you. But if you want to be there live, we will be streaming far more often, so be sure to subscribe to the channel and look out for when we're streaming. And yeah, outside of that, we'll get into game 1 in a second, but I do also want to give one additional shout out outside of the channel members to a couple people that helped me build this deck on stream and played like kind of a large role in it. So we have Evan, CC, Wave, and ISO. Thank you guys so much for that help along the way. It was a fun night, and I think we made kind of a banger of a deck. So we'll get into the games in a second, but I just wanted to give that special shout out as well. And I will see you guys all in game number 1 in a second. Peace. All right, we're in game number 1. We are going to be going first, which is preferential for this deck. So we get our Nidoran in the active. We'll see what we're up against. We do have access to Buddy Poffin as well as our Secret Box. We're up against Gardevoir. That's actually kind of nice because we will be able to tank. We'll be able to tank some hits, as well as be able to one-shot the Gardevoir, which is nice. Like, that's something that we'll be able to boss up. And then also our Dusclops is going to be able to snag KOs as well. So that's pretty beneficial. We do get that, so we'll go Buddy Poffin here for one of these. I think it's fine to Secret Box this away, and this away for now, in order to grab ourselves another Buddy Poffin. We'll grab ourselves the Artazon, and I'll grab the Counter Gain for now. I'm going to go Research on the next turn, so I'm less worried about grabbing a supporter. This is mostly just to grab myself another Duskull and another Nidoran. Then I can go energy down, and then I'll hold on to the Artazon. Just because it can get me another Duskull, but for right now I want to hold on to it. Just because it only really benefits them. And I already have 2 Duskulls out, so getting more doesn't really add too much, and does kind of crowd my board if there's a, you know, weird situation that occurs where I need access to it. Like, I need access to the bench spot. Realistically, I'm expecting a Badoo here, and we're going to be able to Dusclops that, so that's kind of nice. They have 2 energy in the discard pile now. Adds 2 to hand. They could go Iono, but I'm not really that worried about it. You see Ultra Ball, this will be for the other energies. For probably a Badoo that they'll use to retreat. Oh, just for Munkidori. Drop into a research. No energy attachment for turn means we will be able to knock out this Ralts. Retreat to put another energy in the discard pile. They do have 6 energy in the discard pile. That is good for them. We do get a Team Rocket's energy, though. I'm going to place this down because we're going to attempt to high roll. We'll place this here just for later. I don't want to really give it up. We'll go ahead and grab the Dusclops and drop the research because I don't actually need the Artazon anymore. We do get ourselves the Nidorino, which means we're guaranteed Duskull on the next turn. We do have the capacity to get the knockout here, so I am just going to go ahead and take that. And being able to guarantee our play onto the Nidoking on the next turn is pretty nice. There's a world where we get KO'd on the upcoming turn where they could go like Rare Candy Gardevoir into Drifloom or into something else, but now that we see Curlia down, that means that won't happen, which is pretty nice. The goal here is that we can boss up, especially if we can get ourselves into Nidoking. If we can get ourselves into Nidoking without having to Arven, we can boss up the Gardevoir they're about to make and knock that out, and that would put us in a great spot. Because in comes the Evo. We could potentially get into Dusknoir as well, because this will do 120 plus... Alright, let's see. This Pokemon has any damage counters, it'll do 60 more. So 120 to 40 plus 50 is not enough. So we're still short a little bit. So we'll go for this. Grab ourselves Ultra Ball. Is there something we can KO with the Dusclops? Get rid of these. Grab ourselves the Nidoking because we can survive an attack. If we had Dusknoir, that would be nice. Throw this down. Because we're only going to do 50 to this, so it wouldn't have been enough. We'll get the KO on that. We do have the boss's orders, which will guarantee a KO onto the Guardy on the following turn. If they go Scream Tail, knock out the Dusclops, that's fine. If they don't, and they take a knockout, that will enable Counter Catcher. We are fine still. Iono's slightly annoying. But because we have Dusclops, if we can get ourselves into Counter Catcher... Okay, Rare Candy Dusknoir is also perfect. Because we essentially have double Dusknoir on the upcoming turn. Which, if we can get Gardevoir into the active, that would work out really well. I assume they'd attack into the Dusclops, though. Just to remove that as a threat. No, they attack into the active. Okay. We get a Buddy Poffin. I want a Buddy Poffin for the other Duskull. We'll go Curse Blast onto the Screamtail, knock that out. They'll take a prize, we'll take a prize, see what we get off our prizes. We get an Iono. We are going to be able to KO this because I can go Nightly Impact. So we're going to go Rare Candy to this. I'm going to be Reckless. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, I'm going to be Reckless. I'm going to attach the extra energy onto the Nidoking. We'd be able to go attack into the Nidoking. And that would have won us the game. Because then we attach to the Nidoking. We use Dusknoir to pop the Munkidori, take another prize, attack into the Clefable, and win the game. So that would have been it. So we had game on board. So solid game one. Our opponent got a little bit stuck early. But the fact that we can just like throw Dusknoirs around like that is so powerful. But definitely did have a little bit of a weak start for our opponent, for sure. They definitely wanted double Guardy on board. Had they had that, maybe it would have helped, but Dusknoir into the Guardy matchup makes it a lot easier. But yeah, that's going to be game number one, and we'll jump into game two in a second. I'll see you guys there. Peace. Alright, we're into game number two, and we're going to be going first. We get ourselves our Nidoran. We do have an energy counter gain. We would love a Buddy Poffin off this, and then we could just drop the Iono or something, but we'll see what we get. We see Maractus open. From our opponent, there's an Arven, so a little bit of a weak opening turn, but it's okay. We'll probably just end up going... We'll see how the turn goes. We will probably go Arven for... Oh, we're up against Dragapult. We could go Arven for Buddy Poffin and set that up so that way off the Iono we could potentially get something. It just depends. Like, our opponent didn't do anything, so it makes me not want to Iono on this turn. We do get another Dark Energy, which means I can place that here. It means that I won't need a Team Rocket's energy. We could go Secret Box as well. And that would find me like Research. So that way I'm not required to go Iono on a future turn. So I can get rid of this, and I'll get rid of this. Yeah, I'll keep the counter gain. I'll grab myself Research. I can grab myself Rare Candy, but I feel like that's way too greedy. So we'll go Buddy Poffin, grab myself an Artazon, and one more counter gain. Buddy Poffin for this and this. We'll go Artazon, grab ourselves one more Duskull, and then I can throw this down. I don't really lose anything by not doing it. If we top deck into a Rare Candy, that'd be super, super sick. because I'd love to be able to get right into Nidoking, but this has been an okay turn, and the reality is we're probably not going to get KO'd this turn regardless, because of the fact that they're going to want to go, you know, recon and stuff like that. We've seen Arven from them. This could be for Sparkling Crystal Terra Orb. It could be Sparkling Crystal Rare Candy, and they have energy in hand, but then they wouldn't have a way to retreat out the Maractus. I want to get Dusclops on board. Unfair Stamp. They can't stamp me this turn, so if I'm able to get into Dusknoir and pop the Dracloak on the bench, that would definitely be preferable. But I really need to evolve. We already played our A-Spec for the turn, so I don't really care about the Genesect. You're, you know, a little bit late to the party on that one, buddy. Oh my god, we top decked our Rare Candy. We called it. Heart of the Cards were so good. Hashtag never punished. We'll place that down. Throw our Counter Gain over here. We'll grab ourselves. We'll get the Munkidori, actually. Just that way we have it. And because we're going to be able to... Hey, evolve there. That's pretty nice. We have the option of attaching the Psychic Energy here, which will leave our Team Rocket's energies available. I'm going to place this down as well. Then we get to go and attack in for 100, then apply the poison, which then knocks out in between turns. So even if they have Fezandipiti, it's not going to work. And we get ourselves an Iono. That's actually really nice. Because we can go Team Rocket's energy down onto the Nidorino. And then evolve into the Dusknoir. Or what we can also do is we'll have... There's no way that they can take out all three of our, you know, our Dusclops, Duskull, Dusknoir. Or double Duskull, Dusclops situation. So even if they make themselves into Dragapult, they attack into us. You can't Fez, buddy. Power of Poison. So, even if they make Dragapult here, what we'll be able to do is no matter what, we get into our Dusknoir. And we'll be able to drop the damage. And KO again in between turns. Because no matter what, we'll get Dusknoir. That's for 130. We'll do 230 plus the 80. That should be enough, right? Am I wrong? I don't know how to do math. I guess we'll find out. Yep, there's the 60 damage. Okay, I mean, that makes it even easier, because then if I'm short damage, I can literally pop both. Because as long as I KO this, I'm fine. Now, I could also go for the Kingly Impact, but I prefer not to. So, hold on. Let's do the numbers real quick. So, I'm doing 180 damage, plus 130, so 200... And then 30 plus 80, or 30 plus 80 is 310. So yeah, I'm short 10 damage. So I need to get into my stadium. Or I can just go Rare Candy. Throw this down. If I had Dark Energy, I could throw that onto this as well. And sure up the damage. But unfortunately, I don't have access to that. So what I'm about to do is a little bit cumbersome. Yeah, I'm only doing 180. I need my stadium. Could I guess I could have gone Energy Search for Dark Energy, attached it to Munkidori, and then bypassed a lot of this. So, you know, whatever, I guess. Not my smartest play ever, actually. Or I could have just attached and gone Kingly Impact. But the main goal here is that I'm trying to KO via poison so they can't Fez. But I guess we did just give them 2 prize cards anyway. Alright, there's an Ultra Ball Dark Energy, which does mean that we will get ourselves a new Nidoking anyway. And Counter Catcher will be available, so that's fine. So if they make Dragapult this turn, that actually would harm us. Because they get the KO on Nidoking, spread enough damage that we will probably end up losing. Yeah, we played that super poorly, actually. The play would have been to leave energy off of this, go Dark Energy down onto the Munkidori, so that way we only needed to pop one thing, and then move the other 30 damage over. Like, we could have just gone Rare Candy Dusknoir. Or we actually wouldn't even have needed to Rare Candy to it. We could have waited to pop, and then gone Iono. The Devo play is kind of wild. They do take a prize card. But if we can get into Rare Candy again, that'll be super huge. We get our Fez. We don't need that. We could Ultra Ball here to thin something out, but I don't think it really matters. I think we just have to Fez. Where we do get our Rare Candy, that's so big. Literally never punished. We actually played super poorly this game around. But it is what it is, I guess. We'll attach to the Munkidori. Re-evolve into this. And I think we just go... Yeah, I think we just make ourselves a new Dusknoir line. We go Ultra Ball. Get rid of both of these to grab ourselves a Duskull, because there's not going to be a way for them to KO us. And we're going to put them down to 1 prize, so that way... Now we go Fez. Put them to 2. We will actually have Ursaluna as well as Mimikyu enabled too, so we can go Horn. Take the prize card. We actually do need an energy. That was a mistake to attach it here, because I just realized that we're gonna... Wow, I'm playing really, really poorly this game. We may still be able to pull it out though, because we do have the Dusclops. Oh, never mind. So we'll be able to drop Dusclops, pop this, like pop the Dusclops, and that will put us back underneath the prize trade, so we can look for like a boss or something. Or, I mean, we'll still be able to KO that, so I'm not really that worried about it. We do still have other Team Rocket's energies as well in play. They can go Unfair Stamp. We do lose out on the Ursaluna for now, but that's fine. Hey, we get ourselves a Team Rocket's energy, which will allow our Nidoking to keep attacking. So, again, never punished. And we even have Munkidori to move damage counters around if they attack into our Nidoking. And with the second Team Rocket's energy, we can actually just go Nightly Impact to set up a KO onto the Fez. It would be even better if we get like Night Stretcher or back into our back into a copy of Dusclops. We need Dusclops. So an Ultra Ball, or like we'd need Arven, so we get another Counter Gain to discard off the Ultra Ball proc. There's Dusknoir. I can attach this here. Artazon. I guess we'll leave that. We'll go Horn. To the 50. I really wanted one more Duskull, but unfortunately don't have it. We do have another Dark Energy. That doesn't actually matter all that much. I needed the extra proc, but again, we only need one prize left. So, and we do have boss in deck, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So at that point, we just thin our deck as much as possible and go flip the script, look for a boss's orders, and just pull up anything. Or actually, no, never mind, it doesn't matter because we have Munkidori, so they have to KO Munkidori on this turn. With the attack, like they have to clear Munkidori and Duskull. It's kind of their path to victory. There's the Ultra Ball. The question is, do they have Counter Catcher? Because there's the rare candy. Counter Catcher's already in discard pile. We see an Artazon. They also would need another energy. We know they're not playing Sparkling Crystal. So, and if they attack me for 70, then we just move the damage over to the Badoo. As Team Rocket's energy. Alright, we can literally just ignore this. So that they needed to get rid of Duskull and Munkidori on that same turn. Okay, we couldn't have gone Energy Search for the Dark Energy earlier anyway. So we didn't throw that hard because it was prized, so whatever. But yeah, that's going to be game number 2. We played really, really bad that game, but the thing that's kind of nice is like even when you play really bad, just because of how awkward this deck is, where it's like it applies the poison, so people can't go, you know, for the Fezandipiti plays and like all that kind of stuff. You can actually play out of situations where you just play poorly, which is always kind of nice as long as you do have like your pieces. Like I feel like Duskull just allows you to do that, but there is a learning curve on like figuring out like when and how to use your damage for the Duskull plays, and that's something that I'm definitely still learning live because I never really used Duskull all that much. So it's definitely something that I'm getting used to, and it will definitely be a learning curve if you're not used to using those cards. And like finding your damage numbers, like we definitely misplayed that earlier turn on attacking the Dragapult a lot. Like we did not need to pop double Dusknoir and Dusclops like that. That was actually a huge misplay on our part. But outside of that, I guess we didn't play that bad, but I don't know. I would definitely need to go back and re-review that. That was definitely something that I'm not super proud of. But we're going to jump into the breakdown in a second, and I'll see you guys there. Peace. When doing the breakdown for Nidoking EX, I think this deck is a ton of fun to use, and Nidoking EX and just Nidoking in general is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So I really wanted to do my best to make this deck work, and I feel like this is the best way to play this deck, but even with that, it's just not in the best place right now to really capitalize on things the way that I feel like many of us hoped that we would Radiant Sneasler not being a thing, like all these kind of things like that are gone now do matter. And so starting off at the breakdown, for fun, I love this deck. This is definitely a fun little meme strategy that if you can take games with it at like your locals, feel really, really good. But outside of that, I don't think you'll really be winning a lot of events, but it's definitely a very fun deck to be able to try and be able to play. Going into its power, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. It has the capacity to do a lot of damage, being able to go Kingly Impact alongside a Dusknoir play or something like that. Would do a bunch of extra damage and would be really strong, but just on its own, you're just not really hitting for the right damage numbers that you need to. A lot of the time, you're really relying on Munkidori and a bunch of other stuff to be able to fix your damage numbers. The fact that it's only 8 damage counters and not 10 really sucks, and the fact that it's only like 180 in between turns is just not enough for the energy requirements that it takes. But going into its consistency, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 as well. It definitely is alright, but it does suffer from some inconsistency problems. You do need to go first a lot of the time, and you're really hoping to get like your Buddy Poffins and stuff like that as early as possible. So you definitely can struggle in that regard, but overall, I think it's fine. It's just not great. What's really not great is its matchups. As a whole, your matchups kind of suffer. Your Guardy matchup isn't actually terrible, and your Terra Box matchup isn't terrible. You know, little play on words there. But outside of that, your matchups are pretty bad. Your Dragapult matchup kind of sucks. You really, really need to be set up in order to succeed with it. There's a lot of other issues as well. Your overall matchups across the board are kind of rough. You can tech to make your Raging Bolt matchup a little bit better, and that's actually one that with 2 Team Rocket's energies you can kind of bypass because you just use Kingly Impact for most of your knockouts. But as a whole, it's pretty rough. This deck is definitely, you know, my overall rating is 2 out of 5. I think it's a ton of fun to play if you want to meme around with friends or, you know, take it to a dumb local or something. But if you're looking for like the most competitive deck out there, definitely look somewhere else. But if you're looking for something just fun to play, mess around with on the ladder, and enjoy your big king boy, then this is the deck for you. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, and to look around and check out when we're streaming. We're going to be streaming a lot more often now, so be on the lookout for that, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.